today. Little pre-workout. We're going to get rock and rolling here in a second. Let me get past this area. Normally I lose service a little bit here. But help if my lights are on. Well, it's Thursday. It's leg day. We're headed to the gym. We're going to get a lot of reps in. We're doing 1,000 reps for legs, which is going to be awful, but fun all at the same time. I have to stop at Walmart before I get there. So, you're coming along with the ride with me. Mobile Long. What's going on? So yeah, come along with the ride with me. We'll be at the gym in probably like 30, 35 minutes, something like that. If you are new here, I'm an at-home Disney content creator. I'm from Louisiana, about 9 hours away from Disney World. I've been to the parks around 15 times, with another trip coming up toward the end of this year. So if any of that interests you, stick along, hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I put out videos twice a week, with some shorts thrown in there here and there. So I'd love it for you guys to stick around, watch some of my videos, let me know what I can do better, what you're interested in, and maybe I can make some things that you actually are interested in. How long is the drive? Probably about 35 minutes. Titled the live today, Disney is the king of theme parks, for the reason of I want to get into the conversations with you guys on what is your opinion of Disney. Are they still the king of theme parks in your opinion? Or is there someone else out there that might upset them? Probably the biggest one that's on the rise is Universal Orlando with their Epic Universe that's coming around here in about a year's time now, which is pretty crazy. But I think overall, Disney is the king of theme parks, and it's for a reason. See, Disney is probably the best storytellers on this planet. Their theme parks are hyper immersive. No one else does what they do when it comes to the immersion of the audience or the people that are going to the theme park, so just regular people. No one does it better than them. Now, Epic Universe looks to be kind of on the same scale as what Disney has done for the last 50 years, which is crazy to think about. Disney World has been around for over 50 years now, and they have been hyper immersive since day one, pumping noises, smells, buildings. No one else does what they do. Ooh, what's going on? I'm driving. Steering wheel's right here. Are you okay? I am fantastic. Thanks for asking. I'm headed to the gym. Got about a 30-minute drive in front of me. Yeah, no, I'm driving. It's right here. Steering wheel's right here. Yeah, no one does what Disney does, realistically. Now, Epic Universe looks to be on the same scale, but what I'm concerned about, see, Disney does a great job of being cohesive in each one of their parks, meaning that each park stands alone to tell a story. Alright? I get the whole idea of Epic Universe is that you're going to be entering portals that'll take you to different lands and different this, and that. Fantastic. To me, that doesn't seem very cohesive, in my opinion. They're going to be telling 4 or 5 different stories all at the same time that kind of don't seem like in place. Like, I understand why they're doing it, but in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense to me. I still think it's going to be hyper themed, like they have done lately here with like Super Mario World or Nintendo World and Harry Potter World. So it's going to be hyper themed, but the cohesiveness of those parks, those individual lands inside that one park, to me, don't mesh well. They don't. They don't go together. Like, you got to think of it. Epcot, pretty straightforward. Hollywood Studios, pretty straightforward. The whole point of it is that you're living in Hollywood and you're experiencing the movies in real time. Animal Kingdom, pretty straightforward. Disney's Magic Kingdom, the whole point of it is to live in a world of fantasy where you can go not only and see fantasy-like creatures, but you can also go backwards in times and forwards in time. So I'm just concerned with Epic Universe's cohesiveness on whether or not they're going to be telling the right story. I think it's going to be massive. I mean, what is it, 500 total acres? But in my opinion, it's not going to be completely themed as one cohesive park. It's just going to be like you enter this center hub that transports you to other lands, and none of those lands match together. That's just me. We won't know until the park officially opens. That's just kind of where I see it going at this point. I mean, don't get me wrong. Universal has always been a decent park at theming. Here lately, when it comes to over the last decade, with their additions to their parks with Harry Potter World, which is amazing, just doesn't seem to coincide together. I think they're still traditionally a theme park where Disney is, yes, they have a theme park, but the whole entire point of the park is to put you into a story, not necessarily be thrilled the entire time. You get to live the story. I don't know. We'll see, though. We got a year till it opens. Can't wait to see what's going to go on with the parks. Still going to be cool. Also, I mean, you have to look at it from the standpoint of Disney as well. I mean, their parks have been around for much longer. They also have some new expansions that's going to be coming around here soon. So I'm super excited about those. Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, the retheme to Dinoland USA, the addition to Animal Kingdom. There's a lot moving. I would love to see a fifth gate, but if it does happen, it's not going to be until the later end of this decade, meaning like starting now, we have a year from now in the next decade. So 2034. Tombstone, what's going on? Oh my God. It's early. Where are you guys from? I'm from Louisiana. Hey dude, you might want to keep your eyes on the road. It's just like if I'm looking down at anything else. I'm not holding the phone, not doing anything else. I appreciate it though. Thanks for the concern. Learn how to bike with only 2 wheels. Well, that's cool. My phone sits up on my dash, so I appreciate it. All right, we're on the interstate, so we have probably about 25-ish minutes So I'm at the gym. Well, I have to go to Walmart first, but I'll be there soon. Did you remember me at line 13 for last week? Oh, that's cool. So you changed your name? Or did you change your name, or did you get a new channel? Let's go, Louisiana gang. Are you from Louisiana? HBY the Bay. Are you from Louisiana? I'm about an hour north of New Orleans, so not too far from New Orleans. From the Philippines. That's cool. I think I already knew that though. I can't remember. I think so. Easy life on the moon. Where HBY the Bay. I gotta figure out a way to how to say your name. Say it easier. Where at Louisiana? Don't tell me like specifics. I don't need to know specifics, but like, what's like the closest major city to you? Like, I always tell people, because they don't know where most of like where I'm from most of the time. I'm literally about an hour north of New Orleans. So are you close to Shreveport? Are you close to like Baton Rouge? Are you close to New Orleans, Slidell? Are you North Louisiana? My goal is to eventually move out to Orlando, so I'm always a Louisiana person at heart though, but I like Disney that much, my family likes it that much, so hopefully one day we'll move out that way. But I moved to Canada. Gotcha. Okay. That's a huge difference. Why the move to Canada? It's a complete change. All right, well, HBY the Bay, where were you originally from then? Just interested. I don't North Louisiana. Okay. I don't run across too many fellow Louisiana goers here, so it's nice to see. I have to say, overall, I don't mind living down in Louisiana. I mean, I like it a lot. The worst part, but anywhere on the Gulf South, is hurricanes, in my opinion. The humidity and heat is one thing, but you get used to it after living here for so long. It's like if I ever move to Orlando, it's gonna be the same thing. Even probably more risk of hurricanes. So I don't mind it. I also don't go to a lot of like sketchy places in Louisiana. I do my best to avoid New Orleans at most times. I go to New Orleans a few times a year, but that's about it. Still have your house in Louisiana. All right, cool, sweet. But yeah, I do my best to avoid that. Baton Rouge, I don't mind going to as much. It's not as dangerous. The only reason I don't go to New Orleans that much is because it's dangerous. Like, it is insanely dangerous. Baton Rouge is okay. I don't know. I just I don't spend my time a lot in the metroplexes of Louisiana, in my opinion. They aren't that great. Like, if I go to New Orleans, like, I'll probably go for a specific reason, like, oh, we're going to, like, the zoo in New Orleans, or the aquarium in downtown, things like that. I don't mind going to Metairie. Metaire's nice. I would say I like Metairie a lot. I couldn't live in Metairie, but I like Metairie a lot. Oh my God. We actually had a really bad weather system come through yesterday. A bunch of schools closed down. Most everybody worked from home if they could. It was super, super bad. But yeah, I don't know. My goal is to move out to Orlando one day to be closer to the parks. My family loves it. My kids love it. If I can get out there and realistically become annual pass holders, where we get to go as many times as we want throughout the year, I mean, we would go every week, if not every day. We would be there pretty much that often. If I could go now, at least 3 or 4 times a year, meaning like every 3 to every 4 months, I would 100% do it. It's just so expensive when you don't live there. You have to accommodate for travel, and then it's just like you have to bring so much stuff. Like, ugh. It's annoying more than anything. Because I want to be there. I want to be there all the time. Disney is already in and of itself expensive, but like going that many times. If my kids were a little bit older and they could handle flying, where we could fly Spirit more often or something like that, I 100% would. But I have little kids, so it's like they can't do that. I wouldn't mind dropping $4 or $5 grand at the beginning of every year and having annual passes for all my kids and just fly out there all the time. That would be bad, but it's just like I can't do that right now. I mean, I have a 2-year-old, I have a 7 or 8 month old. My wife isn't that big of a fan of flying, so it's like, they would need to be a little bit older. Hey, guy, can you say... No, I'm not doing that. Don't fly Spirit. I've flown Spirit a few times. It's not that... Here's the thing about Spirit. Spirit is not any more dangerous than any other flight out there. If you look at Spirit as a business model, which I try to do, even for Disney, like if you look at Spirit as a business model, I mean, they're smart as hell. They use cheaper accessory equipment. Everything else is the same. It's the same planes that any other company uses, but it's like their interior. They may not have the best seats and stuff like that. Things are a little bit tighter when it comes to sitting in there, so you don't pay as much. But everything else is the same. I mean, honestly, I've flown Delta, I've flown Southwest, I've flown American, I've flown Spirit, and honestly, I just flew Spirit here 2 months ago, and in my opinion, the pilot that we had was amazing. The best takeoff, best landing I've ever had on a flight, which is pretty crazy. And I say, hello. So I don't mind Spirit. Especially, I mean, it's only an hour flight for me. From here to Orlando, it's literally 1 hour. So I don't mind it being a little bit tighter, maybe not as comfortable, because I'm not going to be on the plane for that long. I don't need all the snacks. I don't need all the TVs and stuff like that. Like, I just don't need it. I have my phone. I can keep myself entertained, or if I have a book or word search or something like that, I can keep myself entertained. I don't need necessarily to fly on anything super fancy. Now, if I'm going 3 hours or more, yeah, I would choose something else probably. I would fly. If I was flying out to California to go to Disneyland, I'm probably going to fly Delta or Southwest or something like that, because it's just pointless for me to sit there and try to do a Spirit flight for that long. But from a business standpoint, you got to admit it. I mean, if you look at all their cost breakdown, they're very efficient on their flights in producing revenue. And then on top of that, how they upcharge things, that is insane. They make a crap ton of money. Crap ton. But what are your opinions on Spirit? Like, that's just me though, because I also don't have to fly very far. Take your kids to Disneyland first. It's a bit smaller park and lines are shorter. I've been to Disney World 15 times. I brought my daughter. At the youngest age she went was 1.5. My son will go at 1.5 as well. We had a lovely time, which is pretty crazy. I mean, even for such a large park, and what's crazy, we did all 4 parks in 2 days with a 1.5-year-old, with my daughter, back in May of last year. And she killed it. She absolutely crushed it. And she asked to go back all the time. All the time. I'll make it out to Disneyland at some point. It's just Disneyland is a lot farther for me. Once my kids get a little bit older, where my wife is comfortable with us flying, we're definitely going to go out that way because I want to go there so bad. But Disney World's amazing. It is bigger. Don't get me wrong. It's bigger, but it definitely can be done. Especially if you know what you're doing. I've been there so many times. I know that park all 4 of those parks like the back of my hand. I know all the shortcuts. I know the easier ways to run the parks. I know pretty much anything I can to make those parks easier for myself. Yeah, it's insane. Like, I'm there every day mentally. I watch videos on the parks pretty much daily with some YouTubers that do daily vlogs for the parks. So I know what's going on there 24/7 basically. But my daughter at 1.5 got to ride 16 total rides, which is pretty cool for that age. I mean, we didn't really plan on like what we were going to be able to do. We just wanted to take her there and realistically just like take pictures and do what we could do, and then not kill ourselves and worry about anything else. But for the standpoint of how inclusive Disney actually is for all ages, it is amazing. Like, realistically, it's amazing. I tell people all the time, you need to take advantage of your kids being under 3 years old. Take them to Disney now. Take them to Disney now, because you're not going to have to spend that much money. Like, you as adults still get to enjoy the parks. Bring like a grandparent or something like that and have them watch the kids if you want to go ride something. But your kids will love it, and they do remember it. Trust me, your kids are a lot smarter than what you think. Like, they are going to remember what they did. If you do go out to Disneyland, the Star Wars rides, they're one of the best. So Galaxy's Edge out in Disneyland and Disney World are the exact same thing. They're actually a complete copy of one another, so they're the exact same rides, the exact same layout. So it's pretty cool. So whether you go to Disneyland or you go to Disney World, you experience the same thing. What is different is your guys' Space Mountain. You guys have like Star Wars overlays. It might be a permanent Star Wars attraction now. So your Space Mountain is a little bit different, but that's about it. Well, also your Space Mountain is different because the track systems are totally different. It's actually a roller coaster compared to, I would say it's actually a roller coaster. It's a different type of roller coaster, being able to fit more people in the carts compared to the original, which is a Disney World, which is pretty crazy. But all right, guys, I have to run into Walmart. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you are new here, please subscribe. Go watch something else. But for now, go out, be you, be great. I'll catch you.